Hello and welcome to the latest bulletin from Haverhill UK News, brought to you by Haverhill TV. In the news for today, Tuesday, March the 19th, a woman scared off two burglars who broke into her house in Burton Close on Friday. A new study of hospital quality has ranked West Suffolk NHS Foundation Trust first in the whole country. A new holiday camp for 6 and 7-year-olds at Haverhill Leisure Centre is being set up by public demand. And we look at what you have been saying about Haverhill issues in our new feature, Sound Off. Police in Haverhill are appealing for witnesses after a homeowner saw two men who tried to break into her house run from the scene. The incident happened around 12 noon on Friday at an address in Burton Close, Haverhill. The woman living at the house came downstairs as she heard a banging noise at her front door. Her door opened and she shouted out to two men who'd broken in. The men then ran off. One is described as white, aged in his 20s, of stocky build and over 6 foot tall. He wore a light blue hooded top and dark blue jeans. The second man is described as white, in his 20s, over 6 foot tall, and he wore dark clothing. Were you in the area? Did you see two men matching this description acting suspiciously? If you have any information, you are asked to call PC Thomas Darville at Haverhill Police on 101 or Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. West Suffolk NHS Foundation Trust has been ranked first in the country in a new study by MHP Health Mandate, which looks at overall hospital quality. The MHP Health Mandate Quality Index produces aggregate scores to assess quality in hospitals by asking patients what matters to them. The study looks at how the public prioritise different quality issues and then weights hospital performance to produce an aggregate score which reflects the public's priorities. The top 5 trusts in the Quality Index are: first, West Suffolk NHS Foundation Trust; second, the Royal Bournemouth and Christchurch Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust, followed by Harrogate, Kettering and Frimley Park Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. Coming first overall, West Suffolk Hospital scored particularly highly on waiting times involving patients' indecisions about their care and staff who would recommend the hospital to friends and family. Commenting on the study, Haverhill's MP Matthew Hancock said the hospital should be proud to be at the top of the country for overall hospital quality. It was an outstanding achievement and the result of hard work by the staff at the hospital. He said he knew they would keep pushing to improve, but this study showed the hospital was already doing a good job. There has been another series of thefts from cars in Haverhill, leading to police reiterating their warning not to leave valuables visible. 4 cars were broken into within the space of 2 hours on Friday morning in various parts of the town. The fact that they were in daylight hours is unusual and has led police to connect them, despite the distance between them. Between 9am and 11am on Friday, cars were broken into in Meeting Walk, Kirtling Place, Gloucester Road and Cambridge Way, and valuables stolen. A purse stolen in the Gloucester Road crime was found near Subway, which is another reason for police to connect at least 3 of the incidents, as it would be on the way from Gloucester Road to Kirtling Place via Meeting Walk. As well as repeating the warning to motorists, police are also keen to hear from anyone who saw anything suspicious in those areas between those times. You can call Haverhill Police on 101 with any information or Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. Now, so many of you have been commenting on the local issues section of our message boards at Haverhill UK. We're going to pick out some of the comments and give them a wider airing in a new regular feature called Sound Off. The meeting last week about high street pedestrianisation has really set people off on some interesting arguments, as has the move to bring in free parking after 3pm on Fridays. For instance, Az writes, "Why do we need a road in the high street? Think supermarkets. They have car parks and not roads up the aisles, and they're doing terrifically well. If a supermarket gets people to walk from the car and up the aisles, then so can the high street. A supermarket is a pedestrianised high street just with a roof." JXB thinks 3pm on a Friday is a pointless time for free parking when the market is packing up and the shops are restocking for the weekend. JXB goes on, "Why not offer it during Friday for a couple of hours around lunchtime when it would get the most use? Or am I being cynical in that Friday late afternoon is probably the least used time of the day by shoppers and so brings in very little car park revenue? Oh yes, and there is an election coming up, isn't there?" Hal Revy writes, free parking on a Friday afternoon is just a drop in the ocean, especially when Tesco and Aldi have free parking in the town centre. Why can't St Edmundsbury copy Tendring Council? It works. Residents across Tendring are to get a free parking permit for a further 12 months in a bid to help boost trade for local shops and businesses. Well, JXB has been looking at Colchester and writes, seems that Colchester are banning traffic other than specific vehicles from the town centre under an experimental TRO order between 11am and 6pm effective from the 17th of March. No need for a public inquiry with a TRO, as was fully explained at last week's SNT meeting, although it is noted that traders complained business would suffer. It will be interesting to see how that one gets on. Richard Warwick writes, St Edmundsbury do not want to give this town a variety of shops we need, otherwise we won't shop in Bury. High rates are forcing shops out, bookies thrive because people are gambling. There are only a few shops willing and striving to continue offering support to this town. Pedestrianise the high street, improve rear access now, or in 10 years' time we'll still be having this debate and by then it will be too late. So plenty of food for thought there, and if you want to read more or add to that debate, you can do so by going to www.haverhilluk.co.uk and going to the message boards and clicking on local issues. And finally, Haverhill Leisure Centre is putting on holiday camps for 6 and 7-year-olds this Easter by public demand. The centre has established holiday activities for 8s and upwards, but asked parents what they wanted and was inundated with requests for the younger age groups. If you want to find out more about these, or to book, which you have to do in advance, ring the centre on 01440 702548, or go to the Abbeycroft website at www.acleisure.com. And that's all for today. But join us again on Friday, and meanwhile follow us on Twitter. And it's still winter. Here is the weather for the rest of the week.